Blog Talk Radio.
Everyone in love sometimes it's wrong, and sometimes it's right. For everything, someone must fail. But there comes a point when we sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry. Life never fails us, so it's so wide. When you jump in, you wish you well. You'll find a point when you will exhale. Life never tells us the winds of wild. But when they do, get there, you wish you well. You find your point when you will exhale. Say, shoot back, shoot back, shoot back, shoot back, shoot back, shoot back. We want to thank you all for tuning in to the Q Media Nation show tonight as we celebrate the life, the legacy of the incomparable Ms. Whitney Houston, born August 9th, 1963, and who passed away from us February 11, 2012. That day, as many have said in history, will live on in infamy. We will definitely miss her. I know personally I will. And we'll be dedicating the first half hour or so to her memory, to her legacy, and just to have an opportunity to thank a woman who has given us so much in what I would say is a short lifetime. So please forgive the somber mood. We are celebrating, but we also are with heavy hearts and heavy minds that a person of her worth and legacy has put a period at that in terms of this life. And we pray that all of the independent artists that are out there that are striving hard in your career, that you would always take time to think about the most important person in your life, in your career. The most important person is you, because that God that is in you, that has given you the talent to express to the world, is the only one who knows your everything about you. So we're going to be playing a couple of selections and, just basically going into some songs and just celebrating. So if you are out there and you feel like you want to be a part of this, you can call in at 347-426-3974 and give us some of your words that you'd like to express on the air to the rest of the world. We reach out to many parts of the world. There's been a lot of things on Facebook and a lot of things, Twitter messages. I think Saturday I just had to, pull out all the plugs from the phone, the computer, just play a few songs, have my moment. And it's been a very difficult few days in rocking and reeling in the City Grammys. We were preparing here at Q Media to be a part, to play a small part at the P. Diddy Grammy party. And some of our folks are still not back yet. And we are able to bring some news, and some things will just leave for later, and there are other things we just won't bother with. We do know that our funeral will be at New Jersey Performing Arts Center, NJ Pack, this Friday. So, you all that are listening, who may be in the area or thinking of coming to the area, let us hear what you have to say in your own way regarding Ms. Whitney Houston. As one of the TV personalities, Wendy Williams, would say, a friend in my head. Well, she's not just a friend in my head, a friend in my heart. And to know that she's a fellow Jersey girl in entertainment, strong Black sister, went on to do a tremendous amount of work over the years. We're going to celebrate that work and talk about her testament to the world, every song. If you go on and read our blurb for tonight in the show, how we had this thing, put the show advertisement up, it's in memory of her. But more than that, it's more than that. It's way more than that. And I was wondering how we were going to open up the show, how we were going to do the show tonight. And I just say it's all love, it's all peace. People with heavy hearts are coming together. We lost John Cornelius a few days ago. We lost Etta James a few days before that. And, as the list goes on, lost Heavy D, we're still really rocking and reeling from Michael Jackson. So, Q Media, we've had our ups and downs here, and we're looking to really, really move forward as best as we can for every independent artist that's out there. I would say stay close to your spirituality, take hold of your career. This is why we set this show up, so that artists like you would not always have to depend on the record deal or the media or paparazzi or any of those folks who have no concern about your career. And you will be able to get the kind of media attention that focuses on your talent and focuses on your positive rather than some negative things, because we all have that. We all have something that we would never want the public to see, and for someone to live their years, their crazy 20s or their crazy 30s, to be in the industry at a young age, I know what it's like. I didn't get to that level of stardom, so to speak, but I know how vicious this business could be. And for the most part, many of us forget that it is a business and that when record sales are up, you're the life of the party. When your record sales is down and you have no other place to turn, we don't know how people are going to receive our music. We don't know how people are going to gravitate to us. And so it takes good media personalities. It takes great people in your corner to help guide your career, to help motivate you to do the right thing in your life. And so to have as many outlets, as many people that are involved who care and love you, so that when those rough days do come, and they will, that you have those folks around you that can pick you up. And I know for me, about 2009, I hit one of the lowest times of my personal life, and went through a deep, 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 deep struggle. And we were off the air for a little bit, and I had people who rallied around me at that time to help us move forward in 2010. And we were strong enough to be off in 2011, not for anything that was terrible, but so that we could come back and give the audience everything that we have, given it all, our all to this, because it's more than about us. And I'm sure that when Miss Houston was singing, it was more than just about her, and more than just about delivery and people buying music, but it's heart and soul. And that's what we do as artists, specifically of color, is giving every single ounce of your being into a song, because it is what you come from, is music, and expressing that to the world and having the world love you back for it. But in between that love between you and the audience, there are a lot of ugly things that people will say about you or reveal to your audience, the fans, the people that love you. They will say different things and be demeaning and dehumanizing to you in a way that will take something away from you that you had but may not have felt so solid about. And you know, in this world, there's a big thing about women and self-esteem and body image and just everything. Know that as an artist, you're a real person, and real people have real problems, and real people have to deal with real problems, whatever way they see fit. But we look forward to it always coming out to be on the best side of everything. So that's just my outpouring to you as an artist, and my love for the, not just so much the industry, but for those of us who are in the industry, who with every ounce of our being do what we do because we love it. And not everyone will accept us for the love that we have. They'll take that love and crush it and turn it into numbers, or turn it into an op-ed piece or something, because words hurt. And words are something that you can never call back. And there are some things in life that you can't call back: time, life, and your words. And when people do those things to you and course you in such a heinous way, it takes the very energy out of you to want to do things. So, you know, sometimes people who write music and who are artists and performers, there are times when everything comes down so much on your heart and so much on your soul to produce music, to play for the audience, to be at your best. And like everyone else, you're not always 100%. You're not always feeling like being around people. You're not always feeling like going to this event or being at this party or talking to people. Many times it's not about the people who come to us that do things to us. It's about internally how we deal with whatever is in our lives. And so I pray for all of our family, those close, those far, those that are family by friendship, family by history, family by performing, family by just having a love for the entire family that is coming together and rallying around one another at this time. We appreciate and love Whitney Houston, Miss Houston, for all that she gave to us, through song, through charity, through words, just everything. Just being a young girl growing up and following her dream, and for the people that took her and helped her to realize that dream. And that's what we do here at T Media, is help people go along the way of realizing their dreams, of having at least having somebody listen to their music, at least having someone to accept their music, and someone saying, yes, I will give you an opportunity, because we all at some point in our lives need someone to open a door for us to have an opportunity and to be as humble as we possibly can and appreciative of the doors that are open for us. We've had so many guests come through over the last few years, some that I know personally and many who I've never met before, but a certain kinship in the industry. But more than that, is a kinship to help talent be exposed around the world. And if I'm able to do that, then my job has been done. I have been able to serve people who would not otherwise have an opportunity to be served. And so, from my heart to everyone who is either listening live right now or who may log on at another point in time, that this is our moment, all of us together, that even if we have a silent moment, that silent moment should be as peaceful and as a connecting way to the source of our strength. Whatever you may call that source of strength, call on that source of strength right here, right now, so that we have an opportunity to bond our hearts together to generate the kind of love that it's going to take for us to see our way through and to make this industry not our lives, but a part of our lives, but to make the business of music everything, and you have nothing else in your life that you can depend on. We've got to find a better way to deal with that side of it. And I'm speaking of that because it's personal for me. That at one time, music was everything. And that source of comfort and love and direction and all that came from music. And so other people who spoke into my particular pain at that time or my joy or whatever, they became a part of me. And so it drew me into music. However, when the lights go down and the stage is being swept, the crowd leaves, and everybody's gone, we've got to find what it is that makes us move from day to day with or without the people who are outside of us. And so I say that because for me it is a crazy experience. When we used to perform in Japan and some of our team performed in China and have that kind of accolade and television cameras and cameras all over the place, and you have to look your best, think your best, feel your best, all of that. And sometimes it just doesn't come out the way that we want it to come out. But some people out there really, they don't like us. as artists. They want to see the work of us so that it can sell. And it's like slop to pigs. And I want us to have a better time at Q Media, that we bring the best of the best in the industry. And I believe that we've been able to do that. We will continue to do that. We will continue to honor the legacies of those who have gone on before from our artist community. And we will celebrate their lives, and we will continue to play their music, and we will make them live in us. And we will produce better records, and we will uplift a better environment in our music and around us, that our entire industry will change. So I'm gonna go on and really get into some more music that we've been anxious to get into, because Miss Houston, we love you, we miss you. We we're just rocking and reeling here, and we're gonna make it through though. We're gonna make it through, that's no doubt. So here with One Moment in Time is Ms. Whitney Houston. Today I want to be a day to be the best of me. I'm only one, but not alone. My final day is yet unknown. I broke my heart for every game. Taste the sweet, I think the pain. I rise and fall, yet through it all, this much remains. I want some moment in time. When I go there, I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are feet away, and the answers are all up to me. That was the 1988 Olympics, One Moment in Time, where she sang her heart out. Also, back in 1991, when she sang the Star Spangled Banner at the opening of uh, of the Super Bowl, and it was just outstanding, outstanding, outstanding. Um, it was one of the most telling opportunities of a lifetime that she did that. That was Super Bowl 25, and man, oh man, what a wonderful thing she did, and we appreciate that, and really, really enjoyed the time that she just spent making it an absolute joy to have every song. So we're gonna hit that for you in just a moment, and I just put a message on Facebook that anyone who wanted to send a message out could do so. So if you're on Facebook or Twitter or anything, we'd love to hear from you. So we're going right on into another one. Once again, Miss Whitney Houston, Ms. Whitney Houston, who just for lack of a better word, incomparable. Incomparable. Just one of those voices that we treasured and will continue to treasure from now till whenever. So we are in the midst of a tribute and a memorial show to Ms. Whitney Houston, August 9th, 1963. February 11th, 2012. Whitney Elizabeth Houston. So we're going to go right on into another one. To the shepherd boy, shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? A song fall high above the tree with the boys as we gather sleep. With the boys as we gather sleep. Now shall the shepherd boy to the mighty king. You know what I know. In your presence, for mighty king. You know what I know. Shivers in the cold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Bring him silver and gold. Oh, yes. Let the king to the people everywhere. Yeah, listen to what I say. Joy for me and people everywhere. Oh yeah, do what I say. I know he will. Oh, yeah. I know we're going to keep on rolling, because this is the lady of the hour, Ms. Whitney Houston. So we have been having the awesome opportunity to play much of her music. This is a little span through her career. As many of you know, she started out with us as we began to know her in her 1985 release of Whitney Houston. That was as we were introduced to her. And to show you over the world, her album sales hit 25 million, her very first album, with 13 times multi-platinum in the U.S., 4-time multi-platinum, 4-time platinum in Australia. I mean, when we talk about places like Canada going diamond, Germany, platinum, man, just Switzerland, platinum, the UK, 4 times platinum, debuting at #1 in the U.S. pop chart. and #1 on the U.S. R&B chart. It's the top 5 #1 markets around the world. The peak chart position for her first release was #1. Then she came back with Whitney, and that was in 1987. I mean, the hits just kept on rolling, and from that point, at that particular time, she sold 20 million albums around the world. Her next was 1990 with I'm Your Baby, and that was 12 million around the world. And with Whitney, let me go back a bit. With Whitney, she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, count that 9 out of her 11 songs, 9 of them were #1. I can't even imagine. And being in this industry, you know how hard it is to promote your music, to get it out there. So this is a woman whose worth was in her music all the way live, and even more so, just a person. In 1998, then she, those years she was married, had a child, the whole nine. My Love Is Your Love was in November of '98, and that was 13 million copies around the world. And then in 2002, in the midst of it all, Just Whitney in 2002 with 3 million copies around the world. And then I Look to You, which was released in 2009, had 2.5 million copies around the world. Those are no numbers to just laugh at. Those are not numbers that, you can just say, oh, it's whatever. Even with the last album that she had, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tracks, about 6 of those tracks hit the peak position of #1, and all but 1 track stayed above the 5th position that they reached on the charts. This woman was remarkable. To go out there and to capture markets such as Germany, Sweden, Switzerland, the UK, France, Canada, Australia, Austria, the US, the Netherlands. This is why we encourage you to come to the show, because these are the places where we are establishing Q Media Nation. Wherever we are putting our foot down, people are gravitating to it, because the commercial radio, terrestrial radio, is not playing the music that we know they should play. The music that we know that people are taking their time to really, really play. We want to get into some more music because we do have a guest that will be joining us. And I just had to open up the door and just express what was in my heart, but to show you the work that it takes to get to where you need to go. You have to be surrounded by good people, people who are willing to take the time to promote you, but who love you for you. And when you give 150% of yourself to the people, you also have to put 150% back into yourself, some kind of way, connect with something, a higher power, a spiritual understanding that will give you the food that you need, that you're feeding to other people. You also have to be replenished. And so we love Miss Houston without any compromise to that. We love her, and we received some funeral information. We will be sharing it throughout the week. So if you intend to be there to celebrate her life, or to just be in the midst of other people who are celebrating her life, we will be at the NJ Pack on Friday. We have yet to get the time, and we just want to make this one big celebration around the world. So, My Love Is Your Love. It'll take an eternity. That's one of those songs that just is a highlight to me, and I just love sharing it. I love sharing it. And the Lord asked me what I did with my life. I would say, if I wake up in world war, see destruction and poverty, and I feel like I wanna go home. It's okay. Time is and I believe it well. It's okay. Just listen to me. I said we say young free God. And no matter how, it's okay. And and no matter what the people say, I've been waiting for you after the judgment day. Hold you, touch you, make your mouth give you my love, sweet, sweet together. Tonight our hearts will be their joy, and I will hold you Making my woman smile. In your eyes, a pure and simple heart. For me, feel my life. Let's run with this heart. As long as I travel, for me, when the morning find a way together. I believe you when you say that you love me. Know that I won't take you for granted. Nothing that can be done. So won't you hold me? Make me your own. There's something in your eyes. I won't betray your trust in me. For me, as long as I can. For me, when the morning touch you, make you my woman tonight. For me, there's something in your eyes. There's something in your eyes. Then they hung out, but you can hold around free. If it's your one out, then for me to choose. So let's hope you had dinner, found a credit card, see. It's not right, but it's okay. I'm gonna make it anyway. That's so bad, upsetting me. Don't you dare come running back to me. It's not right, but it's okay. I'm gonna make it anyway. Over for the time you leave your key. I'd rather be alone than unhappy. I'm like back so you can leave down for a week. Yes, I am. The phone rings, and then you look at me. And you look at me. Said it was one of your friends down on 54th Street, boy. So why did you agree? Show up on the party. I've been through all this before. Don't think about it. It's gonna get your baby. Think about it, baby. You don't say I'm not here for it. Yeah. Turn around. There's no more tears left here for you to see. What's the really what you going out like that? Tell me. See, I'm moving on. Can't have you turn back. Yeah. See, all this time, I'm gonna have somebody down for it. Hands up. You were thinking of me. Like I said, the incomparable Ms. Whitney Houston, we love you, and we miss you more than ever. We were already missing her because she hadn't been singing and performing and just being around us the way that we're used to seeing her. But just a rundown, this woman, 2 Emmy Awards, 6 Grammy Awards, 30 Billboard Music Awards, 22 American Music Awards. I cannot even imagine. And a recording artist, actress, producer, model. And in 2009, interestingly, The Guinness World Records cited her as the most awarded female act of all time. And here it was just like talking to somebody on the block. You just could, for everyone that I know of that may have had a personal interaction with her, she will get into a conversation with you just like you or her next door neighbor or sit next to her on the bus going to work. Just a delightful hearted person. And even if you got her wrong, she will put you in your place, which we so much, we've seen so many clips of Diane Sawyer and Whitney really getting in her face. And, you know, you can see the little neck twins like, Diane, don't get it, girl. And even when she went for broke on Miss Wendy Williams. So shout out to her entire family. Those of us who knew her, those of us who knew of her, those of us who felt an affiliation with her. I mean, this woman, remarkable, 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 remarkable. And as I can say to all of you, that's what we're doing here at Q Media Nation, is to make this a platform for you, to make this a place where you don't have to feel inhibited about your music, but that your music can be played and heard around the world and celebrated around the world. You just don't know how many hits we get on a continuous basis to make sure that we play good music, to make sure that we give an ear to the unheard talent that is out there, who are outstanding singers, actresses, rappers, filmmakers, just all over the entertainment industry, and whose lives are predicated on the fact that they have good talent and are willing to expose it on a show such as this. We are waiting for our guest, and I do believe that he is with us. One of those voices that I'm telling you commands attention every time I see his videos, every time I hear his voice. First of all, I just know that he's just one of those artists that you just don't play with. I don't care whether it's on the mic or in the street. He just, when you see his picture, you'll see his picture when you open up our show for the Blog Talk show. You will see his picture. Uncle Ill is the brother in red. So we have Whitney Houston's picture, and then his picture, so you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. This brother, I'm going to play you some songs from him tonight, but I want you all to know that you are getting a special, special treat, because this brother does not play, and especially his artistry and the fact that he's able to bounce with other rappers, to get in there and not feel like this is something that is only going to be for a fleeting moment. If you would just know some details about him as he will share with us, to know that he's no fly-by-night artist. And I don't mean just a rapper, I mean artist in every way, shape, and form, an artist. Because an artist doesn't just rap. They don't just show you the talent on the mic, they show you the talent in other things. And we will let you know what other markets he's touching and how he's able to affect many of the people that listen to him. So we're going to open up the second part of our program for tonight with Uncle Ill's Medication.
Yeah, I'm back. Ha-ha. Yeah. Candy girl. Mad Kenneth. Uncle L. Don't be shy, girl. Let your head down. Put that on me. Now give me a dose of that medication. Move real sexy. Tease me a little bit. Crawl over to me. Now give me a dose of that medication. Lord Jesus, help me out. Put the city women scream when the freak come out. Super freak technique, bring your spouse an ounce. Best got charged living before the semen out. The demon out. Demon scream the heathen out. They line up and they bent over on the casting couch. Like, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. So I split it, drink and stick it, and I hit it, hit it, hit it. Understand I splash in like Aquaman. Then they stagger home like they on vodka, man. When it comes to medication, I don't be lagging. Ladies on the phone bragging, I was late that bragging. A prescription for you ladies whose man is boring. Get a dose of Uncle L, but don't call me in the morning. Don't be shy, girl. Don't be shy, girl. Let your hand down. Let your hand down. Put that on me. Put that on me. Now give me a dose of that medication. Move real sexy. Move real sexy. Tease me a little bit. Tease me a little bit. Crawl over to me. Crawl over to me. Now give me a dose of that medication. I know, beautiful, I can be menacing, but when I'm being menacing, I need that medicine. Don't get it twisted, I know that head is in, but only with my medicine I shine like Edison, so when attitude stank it, feel it crank it, speaking frankly I need hanky. Don't promise it to me and try to prank a big girl, you'll cry like Hillary Swank. Sex gang so flame, shut down Dirk Diggler. She says when you digging her, you ain't even singing her. Those are fights when you fight, here's some advice. Put a waist in a bite, eat it up like rice. This season's like the last of rock kicks tonight. I'm the reason that your wife be like, not tonight. A prescription for you ladies whose man is boring. Get a dose of Uncle Ill, but don't call me in the morning. Don't be shy, girl. Don't be shy, girl. Let your hand down. Let your hand down. Put that on me. Put that on me. Now give me a dose of that medication. Move real sexy. Move real sexy. Tease me a little bit. Tease me a little bit. Crawl over to me. Crawl over to me. Now give me a dose of that medication. I'm a freak, peek my technique when in the sheets. Cutie streak when I buy one of them booty cheeks. Attitude, obstinate because the girl in heat. Change your moody in the fruity right after she ski. Uncle Ill lower back and his bionics. So no making outlast me, I promise. Honest, bring me a woman to polish and I'll send her back with a clear coat of varnish. Pardon, the wars may be demise. Look, you need to explode. Trust time to bomb it. Mode all day, come play, don't doubt it. I master the piece, so you know I'm about it. Text me, sex me, and I reply, come get it. Show up naked in the trench, girl, without no stitch. I'm your body mechanic, girl, I go to work. I bring the double out of you and send you back to church. Don't be shy, girl. Don't be shy, girl. Let your hand down. Let your hand down. Put that on me. Put that on me. Now give me a dose of that medication. Move real sexy. Move real sexy. Tease me a little bit. Tease me a little bit. Crawl over to me. Crawl over to me. Now give me a dose of that medication. Don't be shy, girl. Don't be shy, girl. Let your hand down. Let your hand down. Put that on me. Put that on me. Now give me a dose of that medication. Move real sexy. Move real sexy. Tease me a little bit. Tease me a little bit. Crawl over to me. Crawl over to me. Now give me a dose of that medication.
Once in a lifetime, the Victor Clark collection. You will feel empowered wearing the Victor Clark collection. The best things in life comes in the Victor Clark collection. Order online today. www.victorclarkstore.com. The Victor Clark collection, the #1 clothing brand in the country, the #1 clothing brand in the world. Everybody loves Victor Clark.
Do you really want to be seen? Do you really want to be heard? Bootcamp Enterprises can get you seen and heard. Contact us today at 818-277-2021 or email us shane@bootcampenterprises.com.
Shout out to everyone who's listening to us here on Q Media Nation on Blog Talk Radio. You know, we are the livest and urban online radio serving our listeners around the world. Of course, you know, as always, we are your source for independent thought, politics, money, music, and life. 347-426-3974. And you know, on Twitter, we're under Indie Talk Japan. That is our main market. And of course, we stay in the U.S. now, but we definitely have the street teams rolling in Japan and, of course, in Australia and many other places, the UK, Germany, and reestablishing ourselves in some other areas. So we want to thank you all for being with us the first hour of the program as we dedicated it to the life, legacy, and, of course, the memory of Miss Whitney Houston, and we had to take time out to do that because in the artist community, we are each other. So I want to shout out to everyone who has been a part of that first half with us, and we are going right into I'm telling you, he is becoming one of my favorite artists for the simple fact that I see his videos. He has so much work put into it. And the song that you just heard, Medication by Uncle Bill, you can go directly to our video channel and see that at Indie Artist Movement on YouTube. You can look at it on our YouTube channel, Indie Artist Movement. You can see this video, and I'm telling you, this brother has been able to make it a serious impression on me for the simple fact that he's an independent artist. He does his work, and you can tell he's no fly-by-night talent. So welcome to the show, Uncle L. How are you?
Yeah, what up? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I want to thank you so much for being a part of the show and just taking the time out. I know you're busy doing a lot of things. You seem to have your hands in a lot of projects, and you've been out there for a while. Tell us, how long have you been on the set?
Man, I've been doing this for for ever, it feels like, you know what I mean? From out the crib, pretty much. I've been doing it for like a super duper long time.
I hear you. Now, you're from the Midwest, correct?
That's what's up, Detroit City.
That's good. Detroit. Okay, I got some folks that just contacted me from out there, so I hope that they plug in tonight and really listen to your interview because there's a lot of artists out there. I actually had an opportunity in a few years back to go to the St. Louis Music Conference, and I really didn't know that the West, the Midwest, has it going on the way that it does, and I was fascinated how we had the conference in a hotel, and they turned that hotel into a club, hands down. Everybody was out of their seats, so I know it must be the same way for you. As you are performing Medication and some other songs that you have out. I know that your album is, tell us what it is.
Well, my album right now, currently I'm pushing is The Doodle. The Doodle is out right now. It's everywhere. Anywhere you go looking for music, you're going to find my album there pretty much. That's what's up.
Now, you have a major distribution, or you're still independently distributed?
Major distribution through Sugo Music Group.
Good. I'm glad to know that because many of the artists that come through feel like, oh, well, I'm just getting my music heard and I really can't get any distribution, but I hope somebody picks it up. And you're one of those talents that I see has been in the industry for a minute and has really made your strides. What was your first major break?
First major break. I feel like my first major break was when I did my first record with my group, the Ruckus, back in the day. We did some things that a lot of local cats couldn't do as far as getting heard nationwide, being Source Magazine, and that it pretty much went forward from there.
Right. Now, how big was media a role in developing your career?
Pretty much, it was important because magazines like the Source back then was something that everybody looked to. The Source magazine was like the big dog of all the magazines back then. So to be in Source was like major. You were like everywhere. Everybody checked the Source magazine. I mean, I still remember DMX was on the cover of that joint. So everybody was like super duper excited for us, and it was like a huge celebration just on that alone.
Right. Now I know there's been high points, low points. Points in between. Has your career has it been a steady upbeat, or were there times when you felt like, man, I don't know, I'm gonna walk away for this for a minute, see what happens? Because there are a lot of artists that are striving out there, and they may not know, they might be just that close to breaking into a major scene and not know it.
Well, for me, there's never any doubts. I mean, when I feel like things need to be shaken up, I get new management. I've been with probably 15, 20 different type managers. And when I feel things that are like that are decline or stay stagnant, instead of switching to management, I find somebody can get the job done. And you see now with Boot Camp Enterprises and everything is popping. Before I met Mr. Shane Wall, I felt like it was time to switch up. Once I switched up, and I switched up and switched up and switched up. Got with Shane, boom, everything's solid, everything started blowing up. Global distribution, everything's everything. It's all gravy now.
I have to tell you, I'm a personal fan of Shane's as well, because boot camp has put us on the map with a lot of things. So shout out to him, because I almost feel like he's my management too. As much as he puts forth a serious effort, and it's good when you have great management that backs what you do, because each artist is different. It's not like every artist just comes, out of a cookie cutter artist machine, but each artist is treated differently, and as well they're able to have the I guess I would say the freedom to write the music that they want, to produce the music that they want, and put it out there. Is that the same for you at Boot Camp Enterprises?
Oh yeah, well with Boot Camp they have faith in me. I have faith in myself. They have faith in me. I have faith in Boot Camp, and we work well together. There's never no issues with that. I can do what I want, and they trust that I'm gonna get the job done, and I'm gonna make it hot. I give it to them. I trust they're gonna get the job done and keep it hot. That's what's up.
Good. What do you feel is the most important thing that an artist should focus on when they're looking for management? Is it the freedom to do what they want to do, or just the backing of great management to put them in the right places at the right time? What do you feel, as you are developing your career and have done very well, what do you feel is the most important aspect?
I feel like the most important thing is self-belief. And once you believe in yourself, you got to find someone that believes in you as well. I think you got to know the game and study the game. And once you find that you have a clear understanding of the music business and your craft, then you have to find, just considering pursuing management, to find somebody that believes in you, because some management out there aren't true to what they say. They'll try to rob you blind because you don't know the business. They'll pretty much be not just honest people. So you have to find someone that believes in you, and you believe in them, and work well together if you decide to pursue management. So first thing is first you have to believe in yourself. With myself, I had to go through the ranks of getting approval of my peers that I was good enough to even come out the gate. Like we're here in Detroit, as far as being an MC goes, you got to have skills first. And you can't say you have skills. Somebody else has to say you have skills. You know what I'm saying? I remember a time where, when I first started, actually, I was doing like Magic Mike, DJ Magic Mike type raps. And Eminem was doing straight hip-hop. And then when I converted over to straight hip-hop, I had to pretty much, get up to his level and where he was at the time to get his approval. And I remember when we did I did a joint with one of his artists, Swifty McVeigh at D12, a song called Paper Chase. I remember when I went in there and I smashed the first verse, and M showed up, and this guy there from California, and he gave me the thumbs up on the verse. Like, that was dope. You know what I mean? Like, thanks. So once you get the approval from your peers and you believe in yourself, then it's time to pursue solid management and move forward.
That's great. That I'm glad that you're bringing that up, the approval from your peers, because most people just figure I'll put out an album just because I like it. And they haven't tested it yet in their home market. Do you test most of your music that you put out? Do you test it in your home market first before you release it to the general public?
When I first started doing music, I did that because I was unsure of what needed to be done. And then I realized, okay, I have the stamp of approval from my peers. They're saying I'm dope. So whatever I do, I have to trust and believe it's going to work. So once I went solo, did my first album, y'all know, that's pretty much what happened. I trust and believed in myself and in my work, and I moved forward. It didn't really matter what nobody else thought at that point, because I knew what I was doing.
Right. Now you've been in.
You know what I'm saying? If you know what you're doing, get there. Do what you got to do.
Right. You've been out there. How has the reception been to you over the years in developing? Let's say you come out with a new cut. Do you try it out in the studio first to see if they're going to like it and then take it out? Or do you just straight go out there and say, listen, I know I'm hot. I know I'm going to do what I do. And it's up to them whether they make it or break it. But I'm still getting that approval and that love. But do you go straight from the studio and try it out? Or do you have your peers in the studio first listen to it and then you take it out to your main market?
What I do, because I have so much belief and faith in myself, when I'm in the studio, I know what I'm doing. once my producer, Matt Chemist, lays the beat, and I sit there and write to it and vibe to it, I just 100% believe I know what I'm doing. I can go in the studio without no ideas, and I come up with something, and I trust and believe it's going to be hot regardless, because I know what I'm doing. I feel like when I'm in the studio and I put it down, once the engineer, who's my boy Nico DC, he was on the board, he's in my group also, my producer, Mad Chemist, and whoever else may be around, once they get wind of what I'm doing, they start vibing to it, and they see where I'm going with it, and then the rest is pretty much history. You know, it's just how it is. I put out what I want to put out, and I guess if I was to ever hear, I don't know, that's not sounding too hot, maybe I was second guess it, but I haven't heard that in like, 10, 11 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not trying to get the big head, and then I'm just saying I just know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
I like it that you're talking about the chemistry that you have to have in the studio with your producers and those who are around you, because there's some folks, they'll just have a bunch of yes men around them who everything you do, they go, yeah, that's hot.
Exactly.
But they're really not about the chemistry. They don't really know your music. How long did it take you to develop the chemistry with the people that you work with?
I guess with my main producer, Matt Chemist, he does like pretty much 95% of my joints. When I got with him, we just connected off rip. He did some stuff for the records back in the day, but I really didn't know he produced. And I found out that he did a couple of those joints, which were my favorite joints. I was like, wow, I didn't know you did those. So we started, and I started listening to what he does, and he has a funk that talks to me. I can't explain it, but I have producers from everywhere that try to reach out and give me beats. And I listen, and I pass. But Chemist, he has beats that open me up. You know, I hear one of Chemist beats, and it's this funk I can't explain, but I just got to write to it. Like you heard the medication fight, you just played a little bit ago. Those tom-tom drums are just driving me nuts. I had to write to that. It reminded me of some Georgia the Jungle type stuff. And I was like, that's hot. That's some swing type, Georgia the Jungle type, whatever. I'm like, I got to write to those drums. And they just put the rest around it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a connection we have with the funk. It's just a vibe that we're on. I can't explain it, but when I hear this track, it's just over. And I get tons and tons of offers for tracks, and I'm just like, yeah. But he has his own funk, and then we connect off that funk pretty much.
Who's been the most influential in your music, whether it's writing or delivery, sound, anything? Who's been the most influential to you?
I mean, the most influential to me, it comes from a different array of artists, because I really respect each and every single artist. I respect what they do. Even though I might not do what they do, I still respect it. So I just understand that when I'm watching any particular artist, that I have to understand that, that I take little bitty notes, the enunciation, the eye contact, the depth of their lyrics, everything. I breathe it all in. I have my top 5 favorite MCs that I buy their music no matter what. I can't afford everybody, but I get my top 5. You know what I mean? Which is Jay-Z.
I can't afford everybody, but I'll buy my top 5.
Exactly. I get my top 5, which is Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, Ludacris, Ice-T, LL Cool J. I get them and Snoop off rip, and then I put on like Lil Wayne. You know what I mean? That's pretty much, those are the people that I buy no matter what. And then if I can, I'll pick up a Kanye. If I can, I'll pick up whoever. But those albums I like, they're like something I study from. I'm sitting there looking at like 1,000 CDs in my room right now. And I study each and everybody, and I respect everybody's craft so much that I learn something from everybody. Even ICP. That is what subject, but ICP is a group that I really didn't like too much, but didn't have to respect what they were doing because they command 300,000 strong. You know what I mean? I have to sit down and see what they're doing. And I realize they're funny. They tell funny stories. They have their craft on rock. They're not lyricists. They're not necessarily underground hip-hop, but they're good at what they do. So I have to respect that. You know what I mean?
Talking about ICP as an Insane Clown Posse?
That's right, yep.
I just want to make sure so that people out there know. People keep sleeping on Insane Clown Posse, and what they don't know. See, if you just said ICP and I wasn't a lover of theirs, I'd be like, what the hell is he talking about? But
right. Insane Clown Posse. Violent J, too dope.
They people overlook them because they're expecting something from the graphics that's on the album, and when you go into a lot of things with graphics on a lot of the albums, you get to know a little bit more about the folks that are producing the music. But at the same time, back some time ago, I was into like Uncle Cracker, Insane
Mm-hmm.
Clown Posse, um, Cypress Hill. We had developed so much love for just hip hop in general that it takes a lot of different artists to understand that we don't function alone. We might have our likes, our dislikes, and there are some songs that there's some rappers that you want to take that song a little further for them. Do you find yourself vibing off an artist and then saying, "Yo, I can tweak this song just a little bit differently and give the crowd something similar but very, very different that's mine. But I vibe off of somebody else." Do you find yourself being able to be influenced by them that you take their song a little bit further than they did?
You mean as far as somebody else's music or my music?
Your music. Do you listen to an artist and say, "Listen, I could take it a little bit further than they took it, even though it's my influence, but at the same time, I can take it a little bit further." Do you find
Oh yeah,
yourself
definitely,
like,
definitely. I
mhm,
remember I got stories for days, but I remember one time even Kid Rock told me. He told me,
mm,
you do what you do, and I'm not gonna, critique you. I'm just gonna tell you how you can make it better. And that's kind of like when I hear somebody what they're doing, I say that's hot. You know what I mean? I might have done this, this, and this with it, but that's hot. If somebody asks me to spit over it, it's gonna be the same but better as far as what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So that's pretty much how I get down.
That's cool. That's cool. I like it that you are not afraid to say those things. Because I've had artists that have come through on the show and they go, "No, I'm not influenced by anybody." And you hear their music and it almost sounds like the other person's song. And then I text them and I go, "What's that?" Like,
Right.
and all of us are in this industry together. And, it's just like if you have family members, you're going to look like somebody else eventually if you're in the
Exactly.
same family. But at the same time, you still have your own flavor, which when I opened up the segment with you, I was saying this guy's going to be around for a long time. And I don't say that about too many artists. Um,
Thank you.
for the simple fact that when I look at your videos, there's something different that I see. And there's one that I saw with Genesis, I believe, and you lend yourself a lot to other artists, and that's what's important. Is that while you're developing your music, you're helping somebody else out with their music. And that's what I'm talking about with the stick-activity, which in this industry, if you're not getting with somebody else and you think you're by yourself, your career is over. And
Exactly.
the fact that you talked about chemistry, being in the studio with people and vibing with people and getting, things from your peers and approval and things like that, a lot of artists don't reveal themselves like that, and I really appreciate the fact that you're able to say it, stand behind it, and use it as a foundation as well. So
Oh yeah,
big up to
definitely.
you. Big up
Definitely. I
to
mean,
you.
what people don't realize is, like, if you're familiar with the cipher, like I was talking about the cipher, where, everybody's freestyling and kind of, putting in and people taking out what they get from it or whatever and on, whatever. Music is a cipher. You know what I mean?
Right,
Everybody's
right.
contributing to music, and then they're pulling out what they like about what they heard, and then they're doing their own thing with it. If you hear the stuff that Kanye does,
Mhm,
Kanye does some stuff that's out of here. You know what I mean?
mhm,
That's not by accident. That's on purpose because he's influenced by so many different things. Same
mhm,
with Andre 3000. He does the things he does. I'm not sure he's trying to be weird. He's just trying to explain and express to everybody he's influenced by so many different things. When you grab an Uncle L album, you heard Medication. If you think the whole album's like that, you're slipping because I'm influenced by so many different things. Every song's going to be different. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Nothing on the album is like Medication.
mhm,
So, you know
mhm.
what I mean? If you think you're going to get an album full of medication, think again. It's not going to be like that. I mean, I'm influenced by so many different things. I just
Right.
named, like, my top 5 favorite, rap artists. I got favorite rock artists.
Mhm,
I got
mhm.
favorite pop artists, etc.,
I want to share with folks who you've shared the stage with, and I don't mean he's been in his bathroom fantasizing about being on the stage with these people. I'm talking about actually being on the stage, sharing that spotlight. I mean, 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, Breeze, Ja Rule, Usher. I don't have the whole list, but what are some? Who are
50
some other
Cent,
artists?
RZA, Eminem, Kid Rock, D12. Yeah, the list goes on.
So when you get on the stage with someone, and I want to make sure that this is clear to our audience, when you get on the stage with these folks, that means you are being endorsed seriously in this cipher. And it's important that you work that kind of deal for yourself, but also to work as hard to stay on top of the pack. Doesn't mean that he's living off your legacy because he's creating one of his own. So shout out to Uncle Ill for just being one of those real artists that come through the show. Now I know that you also have some other accolades to you with a song that you did for a reality show, The Contender. Tell us about that.
That was with an artist by the name of Hush, who was signed with our Geffen Records at the time. And they did a song called Shake the Ground, and I'm on part of that song or whatnot. It was on the reality show about the fighters a couple of years back. I believe on ABC or NBC, one of the two.
Right, NBC.
And, yeah, and he had the title track for the song, for the TV show.
Mm.
I was on that joint with him, and I'm glad he allowed me to do that because that opened up some new avenues for me, definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now I know also that you're involved with some community movements such as SAG, the Milk Mustache Ads, the DARE program, local charity events, Say No to Drug campaigns, and of course the Stay in School program. How beneficial do you think that is when you go out and meet people in those circles when you're backed by major brands such as SAG, DARE, so forth and so on? How beneficial is that to your career?
I don't really look at it as far as, how about the benefits from it, but I appreciate that I'm able to let people know that I'm a rapper and I don't do drugs. You know what I mean? I'm a rapper and I want you to stay in school because it's too hard to do what you're doing without an education. I have an associate degree as well. People don't know that about me. Mm-hmm. And I have one more in my bachelor's. I mean, I'm always pursuing and pushing, boundaries, and I want, everyone else to do the same thing. I don't want people to just be limited and think rappers are stupid or just think, think all rappers do drugs. Or I want to get out there and show I'm a rapper and I'm down with anything. Everybody that knows me know I'll do any walk. Walk for cancer, whether you walk for multiple sclerosis or whatever, I'm down to do the walk. Yeah, sign me up. Let's do it. Let's walk it out, So I think it benefits people to see, me being a rapper and not being too cool to spread love. You know what I
mean? Right. Now, with the albums that you have produced and been a part of, what would you say has been your greatest work?
I guess, to me, the doodle. As I go, I get better and better. I haven't had a point where I've stayed the same and been stagnant because new things, I guess, develop in my head. I get with my producer, we talk about where I want to go with this album, and I always look to do better. I think if it gets to a point where I can't do better, then I can see my my love and my passion, declining. But it's always to get better. Always, no matter what I'm doing, from the 3 albums that I did with the Ruckus, from the 2 that I did with Champtown, from the 3 solo albums, it's always to get better. My next project coming out this summer, Unbreakable. It's going to be something far different than the Doodle. So you're going to have 4 Uncle Del albums, and none of them are going to sound the same. They're going to all be different as far as flavor, style, the whole shebang. You know what I mean?
What made you come up with that title, The Doodle?
The Doodle, because I feel like I'm the S, and I know that I can't.
You can say it on this show. You can say those words on this show. I don't mind.
Okay. That's what's up. Well, I feel like I'm the shit. I'm the shit. My crew is the shit. My team is the shit. Boot camp is the shit. That's how we roll. But I can't have that, seen everywhere. Because people can't, that's not a marketable word where, you can put it everywhere. So I kept it playful. I kept it funny. I called it the doodle. You know what I mean? And everybody like, well, that sounds dumb. Well, that sounds dumb to you, but I know what it means. My crew know what it means, and that's how we do it.
And I'm sure you're backing it up. I can tell by this song, Medication. We're going to jump into another song of yours. But before we do that, I really want to run down. Now, you're going on tour very soon as well, or did you just come off of tour?
I did a lot of spot dates, pretty much. I did a lot of different spot dates, and I'm pretty much winding out from that. And I'm here pretty much trying to get my album done for Unbreakable.
Okay.
This summer, Unbreakable.
Now, when you go out for your tour, will this be the very first tour that you've done, other than the 5 dates? Have you been on tour extensively in your career, or will this be the first time that you're really going out and really going to the various markets?
It'll be the first time on my own. Before I was with Hush and Geffen with the anger management tour, and that was something where I went all around the world, and that was great. And
Wow.
I got to get the experience from it, and I got to see what it was like behind the scenes, you know, with all the people that I met and whatnot, and I kind of know what to expect. So when I do it on my own, I have that pre-knowledge, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Now, the anger management tour, I know our crowd definitely wants to know, what was that like? You know I was getting to that part, right? You knew I was going there. But how was the experience? What did you have to look for as a new person going on a major tour like that? What did you have to look out for? How would a person have to act and feel, and what do you need to do?
What do I have to do? I didn't hear the last part. What do I have to do as far as what now?
And when you were on the anger management tour, what was it like? What did you feel like? What did you have to do? What did you learn? Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, I was with Rush, and he was signed to Geffen, and he was on the verge of becoming a shady Geffen artist. But I've seen everything. I met so many people behind the scene that don't get no kind of, you know, shout outs, or they're behind the artist, you know, so much that those people are the most important to the artist. And I met like pretty much all of them, from being on the G Unit bus to the Shady bus, you know, riding with Hush and his vans, his Hummers and all that good stuff. Getting inside of venues, getting love from security and whatnot. Just pretty much seeing everybody get together, kicking it with Yayo and Brock at the time was real cool, because I didn't know that they were going to be as cool as they were. You know, you think, like, you see videos and all that, you don't really know nobody. You know them because you see them in a video, but you don't know that some people are just real cool like that. You know, Little John is real cool. He's like, okay, you think they're going to be on some other stuff, but no, they real personable and humble, and they just kick it with you and talk to you. So you're feeling good. You loving it. You soaking it up. And you're like, wow, this is what's up. This is one day, you know, it's going to be my time to do this, and I get to see all this ahead of time, so when it's my time, I know what to expect.
Mm-hmm. What year was that?
2000 and I want to say 6 maybe.
Okay, because I know they've had several anger management tours. But now you were able to just get in and vibe, and was there any opportunities or any chances that you were starstruck at any moment and being like, man, I'm on this stage with them?
Right.
Was that a feeling that you may have felt while being on tour?
Believe it or not, I wasn't starstruck at all, because prior to all that, I met so many artists prior to all that it didn't really bother me. The thing that I was really looking at was just I was so good at just trying to learn the ropes and see how the thing came together, how it all worked, that I wasn't even starstruck at all. I wasn't really paying attention to the artists without paying attention to what was going on behind the scenes with the production, how they were building the stages. You know, the guys running around trying to make sure the mics are good, the sound guys, the light guys. I was more watching all of the behind the scenes stuff as far as the important stuff, because if any of that goes wrong, there's no show. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was watching the guy test the cables. Like 50 had this one thing that 50 Cent came down with these cables, and he just came flying out of the sky down to the ground like super fast, and just stopped on the dime. And I watched him test that with a few dummies. Then they tested with a real person, and then boom, 50 Cent get up there, and you got to make sure the cables ain't going to snap. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just seeing all that kind of stuff is like, wow, this is how it really goes down. You know what I mean? And artists are just chilling in their dressing rooms, or they're just hanging out, you know, kicking it. And the important guys, the crew, is running around, you know, the stage hands or whatnot, and running around trying to make sure everything is right. They're the most important guys. Without them, the show is like, okay, you know what I mean? Who messed up? You know, the cable snap. What the hell?
Now, to show you how huge this artist is that we're on right now, this anger management tour has been visited by, of course, Eminem, B12, Obi Trice, Exhibit, 50 Cent, Papa Roach, Stack Folk, G Unit, Mobb Deep, MOP, Lip Bizkit, DMX, Godsmack, Sinistar, Ludacris, The Executioners, Bionic Jive, Cypress Hill, Lil Jon and the Eastside Boys, of course, Kush, who we just talked about, Pitbull, Mace, Akon, Flipside. I'm telling you, we are on with a prize fighter when we talk about being in this whole game of music and the business of music, do you see yourself building a tour such as the anger management tour of your own?
Oh yeah, I'm sure with the help of boot camp, we're gonna definitely make that happen. I mean, boot camp has enough artists where that can definitely happen. I'm sure Shane's probably working on that as we speak. He's always working on something, 3 or 4 or 5 things at one time. But I definitely know that's gonna happen. Definitely.
That's good. I'm glad. Now you also have some other ventures that you're involved with. I know that you are in the clothing line. So tell us about Ilgear.
Ilgear was an accident.
Oh, okay.
It was an accident. Really, I was just getting into merchandising, and everybody that knows me know I got to match. My hat's got to match my shirt. My shirt's got to match my shoes. You know, even when I wear my gear, everything's got to match. So I was kind of went overboard with the merchandising, and it kind of turned into a brand of its own. You know, Ilgear T-shirts, Ilgear long T-shirts, Ilgear sweatshirts, Ilgear hats, hoodies, you know, the whole shebang. Had a little short deal with Dada for a second. Didn't last that long, but I mean, I had the Uncle Ill and the Dada shoes. So it was kind of like when I rolled, everything just had to match. You know what I mean? And Ilgear was born from that. It was an accident waiting to happen.
Right. Now I know you've also been to represent other brands too, like Ink, Authentic Apparel, Better Made Potato Chips, Wireless Toys, Jones Soda, and vodka. Go ahead now.
Yeah, right.
But how important is that to an artist's career to be able to move into other to move into helping with other brands as well as branding themselves out there? How important is that to somebody's career?
To be honest, it was just something that I never thought about. It just happened. When I ripped the Ja Rule show for Ja Rule one time, and next thing I know, after the show, Ink Authentic Apparel approached me like, hey, I like you a lot, let's talk. And my management at the time, and then they talked, and they got me wearing, you know, Ink Authentic Apparel and taking pictures in it and all that good stuff, you know. Same with the vodka, Georgia Sky Vodka. It's a mouthful to say. I did a show at Breed, and they came out, and they liked what I did, and they were super duper excited with that big old meeting. And you know, like, you got to get a passport. We need to fly you over to Russia for me to do these shows, and you know, if you're doing the right thing, and you stay humble and you're approachable, and you're really good at your craft, those things that happen. So I'm not going to tell people that it's important to go out and pursue those things. I'm going to tell them it's important to master your craft and let those people pretty much come to you. They'll find you. If you're good, they'll come to you.
Right.
You better make a chip. Basically, I just wanted to endorse somebody, and I figured I might as well start with what we have in our hometown here in Detroit, Better Made Potato Chips and Fago. Well, ICP had, Inside Clown Posse had Fago on a lot, so I chose to go made. Went in, had a talk with the owner, Sam Cipriano, and he looked at me and he was like, okay, well, what can you do? He said, well, give me 15 seconds of what you can do. So I came back with 15 seconds. He was like, well, what am I going to do with this? I need a minute to play on the radio. You know, move. He was all excited about it. So I did one, and one turned into two, and so on and so forth, and the rest was history. He was just super excited about me pushing his brand, and, you know, and I was the chip man for a minute.
Now that's interesting that you say that, because it's almost like if you build it, they will come. And
exactly.
You've been able to put some things in place. As chief, the chief thing you put in place was that you believe, and that's what is making the difference. And I want to share that with artists, because they think, oh, it's my music, and it's not the music, it's you. Who are you? When you do your music, they're buying you. They're not so much just the music, but they want to know, what is the style of this person? How do they cut their hair? What do they wear on their face? Do they have hair? Do they not have hair? You know, what does this person represent? And believing in yourself is first and foremost. Now, in terms of family aspect, your family obviously supports what you do. Did they always support what you were doing in, I guess I would say, the lean days when you were just starting out?
Okay. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, what was the question?
I was saying, in your family, in a family aspect, how supportive have they been for the length of your career, the duration of your career?
Oh, from start to finish, they always been in the support. I mean, the Busta Rhymes show, my sister's in the front row. My mother came to all my local shows she could come to when she was here. My aunt came to pretty much most of my shows. I mean, they always supported. My aunt, she had, like, my posters and everything all over her front door, so when the mailman came, he would know who I was.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I got all my pictures on the front door. She's like, 'cause I want the mailman and the paper boy and anybody else to come to my door to know who you are. I'm like, okay, that's what's up. Appreciate it. You know what I mean? So
that is great.
They were very supportive. Very supportive.
Great. That's great marketing. Now, even as you're saying that, it's funny, but it's at the same time of being relentlessly marketing yourself. Do you do that extensively, like go out and market yourself, even when you don't have a hot song out right at the moment? But are there some other things that you do when you may be in production for producing a new song? Do you go out and still promote what you're doing?
When I'm out and about, I keep I got a box of CDs. Each box of CDs has 100 CDs in it. So when I feel like I'm going out and about, I'll make sure I have a box of CDs in the trunk. And I pretty much go out and I meet people and I give out CDs. I mean, everybody that I meet that might not know who I am or might have heard of me but never got into my music or whatnot, I give them a CD, introduce myself, and talk to them. When I go to clubs and the owners know me, the bouncers know me, the barmaids, the waitresses, everybody knows me, then people come out, well, I see you talking to everybody, well, who are you? And I introduce myself and I give them a CD and they go, oh, okay, thanks. You know, and they check it out. Then they respond usually with an email or a comment on my MySpace or my Twitter or my Facebook or my Reverb Nation or whatever. They'll get at me some kind of way and say thanks. You know, especially my YouTube channel, The Real Uncle Ill, they'll reach out and say, hey, thanks for the CD. I liked it a lot. Keep up the good work, you know. So it's always marketing promotion, always.
That's good. I'm glad that you said that because you sound like a person that goes out and makes sure that he's never too good to get to the people. And that's a major thing because some people feel like, oh, well, you know, I don't have anything that I'm doing right now. I'll just kind of, you know, fall back. When you fall back, then you fall out.
I'm going to say something because you got some listeners that ain't listening real quick. When I first started solo Uncle Ill by myself, people knew me from Ill from the Ruckus, but I didn't have the name Uncle Ill yet. So you know what I did? I went to the Office Depot, and I think it was 20 reams of paper, just plain paper, and I had printed on them Uncle Ill real big, and I went and I just stapled them to telephone poles everywhere. I couldn't afford posters at the time. I couldn't afford the real deal, so I had these big old, I had these 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper that I was doing everyone just hitting up on light posts. So when the kids got around high school, so when kids got out of school, they see my name. It was marketing. It was simple, but it was easy to do. You know what I mean? So you can always be thinking of what you can do because some people think you need, well, I can't afford CDs. Well, I can't afford CDs with print. Well, I can't afford postcards. It's always something you can be doing. Always. You can't carve your name in a tree next to the local high school. Somebody's going to see it.
Right.
You know?
That's right. Now, in getting into some other things, we're going to go to a break and actually play another cut of yours, which is We Shine, with featuring Eminem and Hush, because I want people to hear some more of your music. But before we go to the break, I wanted to ask in regards to the high school population, do you find yourself being, like what market do you feel like you reach the most? The younger population, or the 20 and over, or the even 30 and over group?
I feel like the most I reach is the college community. Because the college community never fades. Somebody's always in, somebody's always out every year. Somebody comes as a freshman, somebody graduates as a senior every year. And colleges, for me, is where it's at. That community pretty much never strays. The staff is always there. They know who I am. So I think the most of my career, I would say colleges. You know, I have older people that know who I am. I have younger people that know who I am. I have younger people that know who I am. They go to school, and their dad knows me from back in the day or something, and, you know, they kind of got wind of me from that. But mostly I would say is colleges, definitely.
I'm glad that you brought that up about the college market, because it's also a market that I remember back when Twister gave an interview some time ago, not here, but an interview once, and he said, you know, I went to the colleges and I just marketed to them because they're always leaving campus and going somewhere else in the country, and I knew I could get if I couldn't travel there, I knew my music would get there. And going to those universities where they might be in Denver, but they're originally from Massachusetts. They go home and they take their stuff with them, and so they'll play your music in other markets and make other people become familiar with you. So I'm glad that you brought that up.
Right. Always.
So now I want to jump right into his We Shine, because this is one of these deep cuts that I really like, and it's one of my favorites. I know I am unashamed about my love for Uncle Ill. So his music is, I'm telling you, and to speak to you and have you on with us is a treat again, because you get it. Not a lot of artists get it. They'll be like, if there's only one person in the club, I'm not doing the show. I wouldn't care if it was an old toothless granny who couldn't hear on a walker and sleeping the whole time. She's still a person I got to do a show for. And more people, you start to work up yourself when you do little shows, and then they work up to big shows. So you never know. Granny might not really be sleeping. Her son might be, the president of some record company that you've been trying to get to. So shout out to you for being consistent over the years. So here it is, Uncle Ill featuring Eminem and Hush, We Shine.
Real, it sound like a gold nugget. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. Every time I pick up the microphone, Detroit target. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. Real, it sound like a gold nugget. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. Every time I pick up the microphone, Detroit. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. Real, it sound like a gold nugget. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. Everything know about this. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. It sound like a gold nugget. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. Everything know about this. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. I'm backing shit, packing shit, by stacking shit. If anyone steps up asking shit, I'm blasting shit. You gon' fade me, but swinging like Peter Parker. Motherfuck the shop, I'll wreck the goddamn barber. Forget your dreams about being with fans plugged up. You couldn't be a dope if you said his rhymes drugged up. I told you once, but you forgot, so here's a flashback. You couldn't be shit if you came out my ass crack. Stop front, kids, you know you ain't paid. And the only mic you wrecked was that kid you fought in first grade. Ain't nothing lyrical about you but your lies. So cut the shit, cause you start to draw five. You play like my 5-year-old's newborn toys. Don't know shit about Chicago, but I can still make Illinois. Like Robin Leach, that display style is waves. That's rough like my face when I haven't shaved in days. Listen up, all these lords take heed when I ain't cock and squeeze. No more MCs breathe. I'm sick of this, here's my final diss. Fuck you them niggas, you ain't shit like this. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. My Smith and Westie got you laying in some alley messy. Got your family looking for your ass on Sally Jesse. We squad beef in the mode when you ain't breathing no more. Leaving your skull split like Steven Seagal. Let the cat out, flat out. Detroit's a madhouse, so I don't get offended when I hear my city badmouth. Quick to pull the gat out and set it, and leave you with more shit missing than a little kid radio edit. Stick up kids be trying to live paid. You get your grid sprayed, there's 27 bullets in your rib cage. Get the gauge, cock it back, empty them pockets, Jack, or I'ma send you flying like a rocket pack. Murder you for a bag of chips and a chocolate snack. Break into your crib, steal your shit and lock it back. 10-year-old kids be standing on the block with gas. Just for living nowadays, look at you plot for that. Where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? That's some old Detroit shit. Y'all wouldn't know about that shit though. Let's just come to my city, you know what I'm saying? See where we live. We shine. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. They know about this. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. They know about this. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. MCs put Detroit up in their rap songs, cause without us their careers wouldn't last long. So like a generation we've been passed on. Now it's our time to shine, put your glasses on. Got these A&Rs and labels with binoculars, looking in, jocking us and not jocking yours. Too many groups follow trends unoriginal, using loops that transcend every bitch in you. Don't ever try to say this is a ghost town. 1 million rappers in this bitch, they need to slow down. Evaluate the situation, all the rest are killers. Fly hoes out on Jefferson with drug dealers. 2 years in the joint, nobody's touching hush. Try to say you put us down, but you're under us. Now who the fuck are you? It's just coincidental. When you rhyme, you're even worse than the instrumental. You're just a phone tapper with no backbone. Talking shit, I got a clip that only pack grown. Have your ass gone, know where to run when we hit. Next time you'll think twice of who you fucking with. Real, it's not like you go home. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. They know I'm out there, the microphone, I drunk it. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. Real, it's not like you go home. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. Every time I pick up the microphone, I drunk it. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. Like the B up in the D. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. Every time I pick up the microphone, I drunk it. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. They know about it. It's not like you go home with it. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. They know about it. The microphone, I drunk it. When I bust on the mic, I bust with real hard rhymes. It's not like you go home with it.
Do you really want to be seen? Do you really want to be heard? Bootcamp Enterprises can get you seen and heard. Contact us today at 818-277-2021 or email us shane@bootcampenterprises.com.
If you're just joining us, you know you have been missing out on one of the livest interviews that we've had on Q Media Nation. You know, we'd love to make sure that we highlight those in the independent community as well as in the larger community too, because music is universal and we make sure that we bring the best of the best of any of the world within entertainment right here on Q Media Nation on Blog Talk Radio. You know, we've been doing what we do for quite a few years now. We started out in 1988. We're just keeping the ball rolling, making sure that those artists who are out there who know what they're doing in the industry will stop by and encourage other artists who are coming up in the game, because definitely when hip-hop first started out, it was about people sharing what they have with one another and making sure that the cycle grew. We've been joined tonight by none other than Uncle Ill, who is a man whose repertoire speaks for itself, whose entire career has been nothing but successful. You have to learn from him to know who he is. And we've been blessed to have him here with us tonight. Uncle Ill, we're going to go into the last about couple of minutes of the interview here. We appreciate and love the fact that you're here. If you want to call in, it may be too late, but you can still try. 347-426-3974. Of course, our text line 201-376-7063. I saw quite a few texts, but I wasn't able to respond to them because we're in the middle of the interview. If you want to hear what he has to say, get on the line and talk to him yourself. Don't call the studio. Talk to him yourself. I think I'm going to get some shirts that say that, just blank the community. But in this last few minutes, I really wanted to get into another aspect of what you're doing, and something that I believe is absolutely phenomenal. Other than the things that we've already talked about, which is outstanding, I really wanted to talk about Tony Lionheart Hervey, a song that you did for him and with him for the Fight Fitness Academy. Tell us about that real quick and let us really support this, because we have the Lionheart track on our video, our YouTube channel. And tell us about that aspect of what you're doing.
Oh man, Tony Lionheart Hervey, that's my man. He's lightweight heavyweight champion as an MMA fighter. The song Lionheart represents, the struggler of trying to come from the bottom to the top and maintaining that, and that's what Lionheart does, and that's what he represents, and that's what he's doing. He's a phenomenal fighter, man. I watch his fights, and I'm just in awe on how fast and how powerful he is. And I had to make a song that matched his intensity and the way he does damage and the reason why he does what he does. And it was a beautiful marriage, you know.
I watched that mixed martial arts, the clips of him, unreal. It was one guy, he was kicking his behind so much this dude couldn't stop bleeding. It was like it was coming out of water. I was like, what? Get out of here. Yeah. I'm loving the song. I'm definitely supporting it. And those of you who are listening in, you can go to Indie Artist Movement, and the very first video that you see up there is Uncle L's track with Lionheart with Tony, and I'm telling you, we're gonna bring Tony at some point, I think next month, to the show. And but we want to be able to support what you're doing and support the song. So go over to the channel and click on it and click on this guy. I'm telling you, it's outstanding. It's phenomenal, and it's something that we should all be able to support, because mixed martial arts is one of those things that, man, if you don't have a headache when you finish watching that, don't step in the ring.
Oh yeah, they're definitely not for the squeamish, that's for sure, man. Lionheart, he's no joke, man. You know, you mentioned you can watch it on your YouTube. You can also watch it on my YouTube at The Real Uncle L. That's my man. He's just doing big things, and I can't wait till he's in the UFC bracket, you know.
Right. Now, how can people get in touch with you specifically and follow you and become a new fan?
How do we link up? You asking me?
How can people link to you directly so that you can so we may have some new fans on the line for you?
Oh, that's what's up. You can get at me at Twitter at Uncle L, MySpace at Uncle L, Facebook at The Real Uncle L, email UncleLinc@yahoo.com. You can get at me through www.bootcampent.com. I'm pretty much everywhere. ReverbNation.com/Uncle L. You can Google me if you can't find me nowhere. Google me. I'm all over the place, man. I'm a real person when I pretty much reach back out to anybody that hits me up. You know, I love talking to people. I love answering questions. And as long as I'm alive, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to make music and help other people. That's pretty much what it is.
Absolutely. Well, Uncle L, thank you so much for being with us tonight. You can catch this on an immediate broadcast right following the show. And we're going to end with that and let you all know that tomorrow night we will be joined by one of the best females that I've seen in the industry. Her name is Abby Castaneda. She will be with us tomorrow night, and shout out to everyone who listened to the first half of the show, and shout out to all of you who joined us tonight to hear Uncle L unprecedented view of him and his work and getting into all that there is. Shout out to everyone out there who has been missing Whitney Houston. We love you. Thank you, and good night. We appreciate you being with us.
Do you really want to be seen? Do you really want to be heard? Bootcamp Enterprises can get you seen and heard. Contact us today at 818-277-2021 or email us shane@bootcampenterprises.com.